any any theory or idea that Trey was not chasing money, like for the 1% of fans that were like, nah, it's because the Bengals fluffed him over. This has nothing to do with money. This has everything to do with the fact that Trey Hendrickson was, treated bad and we didn't pay him, right? For those 1% of fans who still believe that, Trey Hendrickson, when he hit free agency, his asking price was $40 million per year on a long-term contract. Now, I will say, when you do business, you always ask for a reasonably high price, because then someone comes back with a lower price and then you meet in the middle and then you work out a deal. But there is a number in every business transaction, in every business deal, where it is just kind of a waste of time, right? It's kind of you asking for so much that it's almost disrespectful to the other party, because it's just a waste of their time and waste everybody's time, because you're not going to get that number, and it's just a ridiculous ask. $40 million per year after coming off an injury where you played 7 games last year. Yes, obviously, back-to-back amazing seasons before that. But to even think you're worth $40 million a year, you got some balls on you, Trey. You got some balls on you. I'll tell you that right now. And it makes perfect sense then. That makes perfect sense why nobody was interested in picking him up, and why it was like, for the first couple of days of free agency, it was dormant. I mean, nobody was touching him. And the only reports we got was like $20 million per year was what the Bills wanted to pay him. But nobody wanted to pay him anything close to what he actually wanted. And this makes perfect sense. I mean, I wouldn't have even... yeah. I feel like a lot of teams just looked at this and said, yep, you're good, buddy. You're good. Like 0% chance the Bengals were ever going to bring him back. Or even if they should have. There's no way the Bengals could ever, or would, or should ever pay him $40 million per year. That is ridiculous. That is a lot of money for someone who is 32 years old coming off an injury. So, and again, this is not a hate Trey video, right? Obviously it's not. But that's insane. That's just, I mean, I understand why nobody was interested. And for the Bengals, the front office, if this is what he was asking for it, I wouldn't have even entertained it. I would have just been like, yeah, buddy, you're going. That's insane. So for the Ravens, they signed him to a $28 million contract, but there's incentives that can get him up to $34 million. So it's 28 base with incentives up to 34. So because of that, he's getting somewhat close to that $40 million price tag range, but not where he obviously wants to be. Wow. I'm just, not what I expected. I guess, like I said, for those who might have thought, well, this isn't about money, this is just about sticking it to the Bengals, no, this is 100% about money. That's not even a question. Like, if there was any doubt that this was maybe about sticking to the Bengals and, he just wanted to go somewhere and have, job security, which he said many times at one point in his career, that it wasn't about money, it was about job security and making sure his family felt like they knew, where they were going to be and where he was going to be in the future, and he really cared about that kind of stuff. I don't know what happened, but this is, I don't know if this was job security. This is, I want to make money, which, again, I know there's going to be some people who say, like, hey, this guy has to feed his family, bro. This is a business. You got to feed your family. This is more than just that. He's made $95 million in the NFL. Now, obviously, Uncle Sam is taking a big chunk of that. Don't get me wrong. But we're not talking about the whole feeding your family stuff anymore. When you're at these numbers, this is generational wealth. He's going to be able to generationally feed his family for generations upon generations upon generations. And he just signed a $114 million deal with the Ravens. So we're talking about generational and generational and generation wealth. Okay, this is not a guy who's making $500K, $900K in the NFL. This guy's making stupid money. Stupid money. But yeah. It's kind of interesting too, because they do have a potential out after 2 years. So I wonder what circumstance here, like why he would accept that. I mean, he's only getting a 2-year deal in theory if the Ravens want to move on. So I guess maybe the Ravens kind of made sure of that. But at the same time, it's like 35.5, 34.5. He has a backloaded contract with them having the ability to just walk away for $27 million. Yeah, that's contract-wise. And his market value, by the way, is $25.4 million. $40 million is just disrespectful. That's disrespectful to ask any team $40 million, given the circumstances. Oh, man. Does Trey Hendrickson only care about money? Yes. Okay. I mean, again, it's a business, but this is why I've said this many times. He painted himself as a guy who didn't just care about money. He painted himself as a family man who cared about God and his teammates and his family and his friends, and that's all he cared about. The fact he made stupid money was just a side product of something where he loved to do what he's doing. And then it turned into, well, I just care about the money. I'm just kidding. Oh, man. Hey, at least we know the real Trey now. I'm not. I feel like I'm more. Now it's been a couple weeks. I'm now more content with knowing the real Trey and kind of just knowing him now as a player and a person. Where it's like, go get your bag, bro. I will say I don't like the deceptive, way you went about it. But, I mean, trust me, there's been people who've done worse than that out there in, life when it comes to getting money. They've done a lot worse than what Trey's done there. But, you go do you, man. So, shout out to our members of the channel as always. Let's go ahead and become a member down below. Join icon. Do your custom emotes. That's all my videos and descriptions. As always, keep your stick on the ice. I don't know why I say that, but okay, whatever. Peace out, guys.